Exercise number 162. Start. Sir, we have now heard the Minister of State in the Ministry of Petroleum giving the projections of production of 1982 as well as the estimated consumption figures. Sir, at the outset, I am very happy to say that in this country, the fertilizer technology has been mastered by our own technicians, and whether it is the Engineers India Limited or the Fertilizer Corporation of India at Trombe or the factory at Elway, our technicians have played a big role, have taken a big stride in the designing facilities being created and in the technology being upgraded. It is a very creditable achievement on part of our technicians as well as on the part of our ministry, which is helping these technicians. Secondly, sir, I am also very happy to say that this ministry during the course of the last 10 or 15 years, when any party was in power, took care to see that the work of these technicians and technologists is not brought under any political pressure whereby the technologist would be frustrated, and I hope that his party will continue to do the same thing. Sir, the same is the story with the progress and achievements of the Oil and Natural Gas Commission. Sir, during the last 3 or 4 years, as everybody is aware, due to the oil crisis, this country has faced and experienced inflation having no bounds. But sir, the offshore exploration by the ONGC has achieved great strides, and it is to the credit of the ONGC technicians that they have successfully explored oil, and their new find from the Kerala side is also very admirable. I hope within a foreseeable future we shall be self-sufficient in the production of oil as well as the associate gas. Sir, the point that I want to mention is that the minister must have been persuaded, I think, by the observations of my colleague Shri Sham Lal to believe he might himself be an agriculturist, and knowing the position himself that the per unit cost of fertilizer in this country is very high. He might also be aware, sir, that the per unit investment cost in this country is also very high. It is therefore very necessary that the government applies its mind to this problem. Perhaps, as the minister has pointed out, they are trying to take a loan from the World Bank for establishing captive generation units at half a percent if I have heard him rightly. Sir, the captive generation plants are also very essential, which require our attention. But, sir, if you could divert some of those funds to the investment in these new plants, which are based on high technology and what you call difficult technology, perhaps a great achievement could be made in providing the cheap capital for these plants. I would suggest that priority should be given to the diversion of this type of loan to the capital investments in the fertilizer plants. I am myself not aware of the position here, but I know in the agricultural sector the World Bank gives loans, but with a stipulation that the government of India cannot reduce the rate of interest, which must be as per the Reserve Bank of India's minimum rate of lending 7% or whatever it is. Therefore, it is for the minister to check whether that half a percent interest bearing loan can be diverted to the capital investment in the fertilizer industry. If that is done, many of the troubles and the difficulties of the agriculturists will be more or less overcome on account of the low cost of fertilizer. Sir, in this connection, I would also like to point out that the government very recently, on the advice of the expert committee, if I remember aright, devised a formula whereby the new units to be brought into existence or commissioned in this country are to be subsidized out of certain pool funds from the old units. Sir, I am totally against it. As a member of the board of directors of the Indian Farmers Fertilizer Cooperative, I opposed this. Sir, it is just like robbing Peter and paying Paul for robbing Paul and paying Peter. The scheme is like this, that a formula by which the new units are costly units and the old units having low investment, the capital being depreciated. The expert committee recommended that certain price has to be fixed because the fertilizers are being marketed under the Ministry of Agriculture. I know that it is not the Petroleum Ministry, it is under the Ministry of Agriculture, and what they have done is they have appropriated, say, rupees 200 or rupees 300 from the retained price. The cost should be worked out on the basis of 12% return. I do not want to take the time of the House and the time of the minister, but as the minister is responsible for it, I want to bring it to his notice.